Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a look at putting lights in your layout. As you can see here, we have some lights in the buildings and we have some lights on the platform. We're going to look how they're wired in, how we set them up. So don't forget to subscribe for me, and scrolling down here will be a list of my channel members. Thanks to them for their support, and if you'd like to become a channel member, just hit the join button. I use LEDs for lighting my layout. LEDs run off usually 3 volts. And you can see they come already in some light fixings. So we've got some street lamps here, a double, single, some old style lantern type. LEDs themselves, they do come in all sort of shapes and colours and sizes. We've got some red ones here. These are lighthouse or top hat LEDs, you can see by the shape of them. These are normal LEDs, these are 3mm, have some 5mm here. You can see the different sizes, they come in different colours. Some of them will even flicker, which you can use for effects, which I'll show you in the buildings. Now I'm going to show you how we take one of these LEDs and we wire it up. I can show you now how I wire up my LEDs. Now remember I said these LEDs are 3 volt. I use a 12 volt bus going around my layouts to supply power for things like these lights, signals, that sort of thing. So obviously if I connected it straight up to 12 volts, it would blow. So what we need to do is put a resistor on it. Now when you take the LED out of the packet, it's got 2 legs. One is longer than the other. The longer leg is the positive, and this is the one I solder the resistor to. It's important that you wire up the LEDs correctly, because they are polarity sensitive. So if you wire them the wrong way, they simply won't work. They'll only work with positive connected to the positive leg and negative to the negative leg. So as you can see, I've got it here in the third hand. The LEDs here, I've got the resistor here, and I've put some flux on there. So now we're just going to put a drop of solder on it. And that's it. A little bit of solder holding it together. I'm going to solder on a black wire now onto the negative side. Again, it just needs a little drop of solder. You don't want to spend too long to attach, because the heat of the solder could damage the LED. A couple of seconds and that should be that. Attached. And then, like I've done on this side here, I'm going to trim away the leg now. And now I'm going to attach a red wire to this side of the resistor. Again, just a little drop of solder. Just like that, that's that done. So that's the wires soldered on, positive going through a resistor onto the long leg of the LED, and then black negative coming off the other side of the LED. All remains to be done now is trim off the excess, and we're going to put some heat shrink over it to make sure it all stays insulated. So there's the LED now. Heat shrink's all done on it. I've got it connected up to my transformer, so just flick it on now and see if it works. There we go. Now these LEDs do appear a lot brighter on the camera. If you're not happy with the brightness of your LED, you can simply put another resistor in series, bring down the current, bring down the brightness of the LED. I'm using 4.8 kilo ohm resistors on mine on a 12 volt supply. And let's have a quick chat about the power supplies themselves. It's up to you how you want to power your LEDs on your layout. You can simply use a battery box like this, wire your LEDs up to that. Advantage of using this is you can put 2 batteries in there, so it's 3 volts, so you don't have to worry about resistors. You can use a power supply, so you get a dedicated power supply to power them. Again, you could get this in a 3 volt, you wouldn't need resistors. Or because I use a 12 volt buzz, I have a 12 volt adapter for powering it. You can even use your normal DC controller. If you're using one of these, just be careful, because they don't always just give out 12 volts, it can be up to 14, 15 volts. So it's a good idea to have a multimeter, and you can use this to read the voltage to make sure it's correct before you blow any of your LEDs. So let's have a look at how we connect the LEDs up to the power once they're installed in the building. So here we've got a flickering blue LED in this signal box. And if we go underneath, we can see the two wires coming down, and they're connected on to the bus wire. So you can see we've got red and black, positive and negative, going on to brown and blue, positive, negative, and they feed through and they feed all the other lights. It's all looking a bit messy at the moment because I haven't done the final tidying up. And we can see here we've got the black lead, which is feeding into a connector, which is powering this bus wire, and another bus wire down the other end for the other lights. And here we have the transformer that's supplying 12 volts to power all the lights. Showing a bit more detail now how I do the connections to the bus wire. So the bus wire I use here, this is 1.5mm solid core. It's the same sort of wire that's used in household lighting in the UK and Ireland. Now there's a couple of ways you can connect your wires to this. You can use these traditional type connectors to make connections. You have these sort of connections here, which you slide the wire through and then slide the connecting wire through there and then squeeze with a pair of pliers, and that pushes that down to make a connection across the two wires. Or what I do with mine, I do solder connections. So I get my wire strippers, place it where I want to make the connection. And you can see how that's bared some of the wire. So I put a little bit of solder on there and take the wire I want, wrap it around, and then simply a blob of solder on there. It makes a nice good connection, nice and strong, nice and secure. And then a little bit of insulation tape or heat shrink around that just to protect it and keep it insulated. As simple as that. There you go, that's how I do my lighting. So just a couple of things to note. Just be careful with LEDs regarding the voltages. It's 3 volts usually. If you hook them up without a resistor, they're going to blow and burn out straight away. Don't forget to check the polarity of them as well. Make sure they're connected to the positive and the negative the right way around, or they simply just won't work. If you get a light and it's got different colours on, like this is white and silver, which one's positive, which one's negative, hook them up to one of these little button batteries. As you can see quite clearly, it's marked positive on one side. So whichever way it works, then you know which is the positive lead and which is the negative. Don't forget to use your resistors if they're needed. Colour codes are important, so make sure you're using your own colour code. Like I have red for positive or brown for positive, blue for negative or black for negative, so when you're trying to fault find, it makes it a lot easier. Power supplies, quite often you could be chucking out some electrical appliance and it comes with a little power adapter. It might be a 12 volt DC adapter that you can use in your layout. Certainly one I'm using here is off an old phone system. It's a 12 volt 2 amp supply. Perfect for this sort of layout. What I'll do is I'll pop some affiliate links down below for LEDs and some of the lights and that sort of thing. If you don't know what affiliate link is, basically means if you buy something using that link, I get a little bit of money. It doesn't cost you any extra, but it can be a little bonus to me. But that's it really. So what I'll do is I'll put a video here and here, a subscribe button in the middle. Don't forget to like and share this video, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.